Alright guys, December drivers meeting. Thanks for taking the time to watch. I just want to start out by saying, you domicile guys, the ones that don't report to me pretty much ever, and you don't ever come to the main location, please pay attention anyways. Some of this might affect you down the line for whatever reason, so I would just urge you to, pay attention to the different details, because you never know how things will change. And to the other guys, I pretty much don't see you guys most of the time. So I would just urge you to please pay attention. It is for everyone. All OTR guys, this stuff does affect all of you in some way. So I don't want to put these out and just be for nothing and the same stuff happens the very next day. It is important. They task me with this to communicate these things. I can send you guys text messages all day long. I don't want to do that, and I don't think most people pay a whole lot of attention to them anyways, but they should. So it's once a month. I ain't even done one in 2 months on this one, so please pay attention, and I'll keep them short and sweet, and we can go on with our busy days. Communicating issues about product. I can't stress enough how important it is to get this information to me, whether it's a mispick, a short on truck, for whatever reason, that customer, if they're not getting their product, communicate that to me and to the trans phone. It's a little weird right now because Courtney's gone. You guys know that. But that trans phone, when I say that, I mean Courtney's phone, obviously. That process is going to be evolving very soon. We're putting together a committee to figure out how that should change to be more efficient and to communicate through the company better. It was kind of janky for a while. It's affecting inventory a little bit, so that will be changing. But for now, please make sure you copy me on everything. And if a customer needs something, if for whatever reason they don't get something, we need to ask them do you need recovery and how quickly? Because that's one of the biggest things that we end up answering back pretty often is, okay, they didn't get it, when do they need it? So communication, please. If you come through here and you get your truck worked on, this will only affect some of you. Bring the keys and the tablet back. We've been having an issue with them working on something, fixing it, bringing it here to us, and leaving it outside of the gate with the keys and the tablet and God knows what else in it. So it's just very important that when you go to drop a truck off, you bring our keys and the tablet back. That's the procedure. So we don't want to see stuff walk off, because we've had it happen here in the yard. Just a couple quick tips at the pump. If you do fuel up here, you can fuel the truck and the reefer at the same time. You just have to put your card in again. Just a little time saver. You can fuel the tractor and then start the pump again, and then you can be doing the reefer at the same time. If it's pumping slowly, it's winter time now, it's going to happen. For the most part, if you stop pumping for 10 seconds, hit it again, it's gonna do full force. The other big thing that I didn't write on here is please fuel up here in the yard absolutely as much as possible. It's significantly cheaper to do that, and we've been saving a lot of money by urging guys to do that. So anytime you can get back to the yard, even if you make it back with quarter tank, or if you have to put in a quarter tank just to make it back here, it's very important to fuel up here as much as you can. It's a significant amount of money each month that we save from that. So you guys have gotten text messages about this. It's actually quite a bit of money. I put there $3,500, but that's going to go up even more. And that amount is purely for idling. This is not for other driving, or this is purely for the truck sitting, not being used, just idling. Now I understand some guys need to sleep in the truck. I have no qualms with that. If you're sleeping in the truck, you're in the sleeper berth, by all means leave it running, have the heat blasting. I don't care about that. The only thing I'm trying to cut back on is if you're in a customer or wherever it may be, truck stop, you're fueling up, whatever, turn the truck off. We do not need to spend excess money just for the truck to be running for absolutely no reason. we are in a serious budget cut right now. I don't even want to get into that. But any tiny little bit can help tremendously. So I don't want to monitor it. I do sometimes just to check in and see what guys are doing. But it is an honor system, man. If you don't need your truck running, turn it off. I've been driving 2-3 routes a week lately, and I shut it down every time. I see no reason to waste the money. But help us out, help the company out. We got people getting fired because the budget, it's tight around here. So you can do your part by just shutting the truck down whenever you're in a customer, or you just don't need it to be running. It might not seem like much for one driver, but believe me, it adds up. This is the other big issue with reefers. We don't need to cool a whole 53-foot trailer whenever you got 2 cases of cheese coming back, for example. You'd be surprised how many trailers I see come in this yard or just sitting in the yard with, it's a 53-foot trailer and there's just 2 little cases of returns on there all the way back from St. Louis or Texas or whatever it may be. I just ask you guys to be smart with your reefers. You're done at the customer at the end of the day, turn your reefer off. I understand there's a lot of different scenarios. You guys do a lot of different types of tasks, but just be smart with it. If it doesn't need to be on, turn it off and only cool the zone that you need to cool, which means if you got a block of cheese, put it in zone 1, put the reefer all the way to the front. You only have to cool 2 feet worth of product or worth of space for that product. So that just comes down to common sense, and that's just another way, to save some money, and it's way more than you guys would even think. So when you're talking about, 30 trailers running around at all times, all running inefficiently, it just adds up like crazy. I'll go out in the yard and I'll see an empty 53-foot trailer just chugging away, just no reason for that. And it comes down to the driver. So just please be conscientious. All right, so the ELD mandate's getting ready to hit December 18th, in case you guys didn't know. I'm sure you did, though. I predict that they're going to start looking at stuff hard and heavy. Before they were doing paper, that's what they were comfortable with. They didn't want to look at the technology, but now they're getting trained up. They're going to start being required to look at them and write tickets and stuff. So let's be prepared. We've been doing this since February or March whenever we hit, and I think we're pretty good. You guys do quite well, so it's not that big of a deal. I don't see us having an issue, but if you get a ticket, you pay for it. So if you have any questions, if there's anything you think you don't understand, now's the time to get with me. Know the laws, know the details, and we'll get it done. The biggest issues I see are the 8-hour mark, taking that half-hour break. The other big thing is violating that 14-hour rule. You're trying to get to the yard, you're trying to get to a truck stop. I get it, man. I did OTR. I still get close to that 14-hour mark doing the runs that I'm doing now, because I'm doing 2 to 3 runs a week myself due to the budget cuts and everything. I'm trying to do my part. I get it. So, but when it comes down to it, I can tell you guys like this. I had 5 sheets for guys to fill out or to sign off on HOS violation sheets last month. 2 months ago, but then last month there was about 17. So it's kind of I don't know if people are getting lax or whatever it is, but now's the time to tighten it up, not to get relaxed about it. So, when it comes down to it, you're getting close to that 14 hours, you got to shut it down, man. If it's every once in a blue moon, you got to get somewhere and it's less than 30 minutes, okay, I get it. You're going to go into the violation, but it's not something we can do on a regular basis. If you're going and over 30 minutes, an hour, hour and a half into violation, that's a serious issue, man. I guarantee we're going to have to start cracking down on it. You just can't do that. It's a risk, is what it is, and we just can't risk to have our rating get hit. And really, when our rating gets hit, it affects you guys because they're more likely to pull you into the scale. So, it's kind of helping yourself too. You get one of those little violations, you think it's no big deal, but it just goes into the whole scheme of things, and it's going to affect you on the back end. So those violation sheets, I'm tired of sending paper around. They're going to start to get put on Paycom, and you can sign them electronically. For issues with your load, if this applies to you and you have a load map with your load, draw your issue right on the load map. Write out whatever it is, make it, total common sense, make it plain, make it easy to read. Draw X's, circle it, whatever it is, whatever makes it simple to express what it is, whether it's a pallet out of order, you found a product that was supposed to be for this pallet over here, whatever it is, this is the best way to do it. Write it out, highlight it, whatever it is. You don't really have to highlight it, but if you're just in the truck, write it out on there, draw an arrow, draw an X, circle, whatever it is. Take a picture of it, send it to me. That's the best way we can communicate to warehouse. Make it simple, make it easy. So when the guy who's loading the trailer or creating this load map sees it in that way, it's worth its weight in gold. It's very effective. So pre-route check sheets. This is going to apply to you guys who are taking a load out of this yard. We were not enforcing this very well for a while. Honestly, I didn't even know what the hell a check digit was, so I was not training accordingly. So you guys can see I got rid of all the riffraff on the sheets with the blank spots. They're all gone. So any useless information that we had, any blank spots that we didn't even need to fill out, I got rid of all of it. So if you see something that has a blank space or something supposed to be circled, it's supposed to be done. These are supposed to be turned in before you leave the yard. Most of you know it. Most of you are doing just fine on it, but it's very important. The reason we do it is because a couple trailers left the yard and they weren't supposed to, and some heads rolled on it, so it was a pretty big deal. So just make sure you fill that out and make sure it's going to the right place. This is an ongoing issue that I would really like to eliminate, but it ends up causing a lot of extra work for everyone here at the main location. You'd be surprised all the chatter right here going back and forth on the walkie-talkies, trying to figure out where drivers put bill of ladings for the product they're bringing in. We find it in the cabs of the trucks, we find them in the trailers, we'll find them in the driver's box, we'll find it here, there, and everywhere. If you're bringing something into this yard, or whether it's coming to us or to a customer, whatever it is, if you're bringing something into the yard, please put the bill of lading in this box that's located just inside the shack there, and let us know what trailer it's in. So any kind of information of product you're bringing into the yard, it has to make it into this box. It's going to cut out so much riffraff. So that would be much appreciated. Let's try to nip that one in the bud and just make that a non-issue, please. Just a little thing, but I'm sure you guys have experienced, now that we got cold weather, the tablets are having issues. It's not big issues, it's just they won't charge when they're freezing cold. So they'll still turn on, they'll still work, but they won't charge. So if you left it on all weekend and it drained and it's dead, it ain't gonna charge. So just to avoid that, pretty much get into the habit of turning your tablet off at the end of your shift. We got a new training video up. It's just like the one you guys did with hours of service, only it's winter driving. You access it through Paycom. Same credentials as it was before. If you don't remember your password, get with me and I'll reset it. It's pretty, rudimentary stuff. It's ABCs of winter driving. It's nothing too complicated, but there were a few people that were, kind of stressing that they were worried about the winter weather coming up, and you never know. There might be something in there to help you out. So it's not very long. Please take your time and take that course and have it done by Friday, December 23rd. Like I said, you go through Paycom. There should be a link there. You just go right to it, and if you have any questions about your login, just let me know. And that's it, guys. So less than 16 minutes. Hope that wasn't too much time out of your day. I appreciate you watching. Please take these things to heart. I don't want to have to say the same stuff over and over. The only reason I do sometimes is because, you know, it's very important things that don't get done or don't get done right. And, you know, they task me to communicate these things to you. It's hard to do. You guys are spread out across the United States. I know it's hard to take management from somebody you never see. So it's a hell of a job. I do my best, and I'm out there driving with you guys too. So I appreciate you, being on the same page and taking your time. So I hope you guys have a Merry Christmas, and I will talk to you soon.